and welcome again to Not Fake News. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and smash that like button. Warning, these videos may contain language and or content that can cause extreme displeasure or discomfort, and in some rare cases, brain damage to Democrats, lefty liberals, and the far left. If this happens to you, please shut the video off immediately. Turn the lights off. Think happy thoughts. Hillary, Hillary on a throne with a crown on, controlling the world and destroying it very fast. Hillary, 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 Hillary. Think happy thoughts. If this doesn't work, please consult your doctor immediately. Never watch Not Fake News again. Hello, everyone. We have a bunch of breaking stories to get to right now, so let's do this first. Governor declares state of emergency. Okay. Well. Look what Border Patrol agents found in a U-Haul. Let me think. Let's play the what's in the U-Haul, the Border U-Haul game. Is it girls being human trafficked and boys and young children? Maybe. Is it a truckload of drugs to give to our kids, of American kids? Maybe. Is it a truckload of refugees that want to come in and join MS-13 and are doing it this way because they can't get in the legal way, and that means we really don't want them, and thanks U-Haul? Maybe. I don't know. We're going to have to read it. But let's read the rest of the stories that we're dealing with first. President Trump takes one last rip at Ossoff in Iowa. And despite agreement, Iran is doing something very bad. Very, very bad. Wow, Dems are becoming self-aware. Quicker than the AIs. I'm shocked. Look what they admitted. And this is why we're all here, folks. Loretta Lynch could be finished. Look what Trey Gowdy just said. The pit bull. The man in charge now. Yes, he's been promoted. You all know that, right? He's the chairman now of the House Oversight Committee. Senator, whatever that is. House. He's in the House. All right, let's do it. Let's do it, folks. Governor declares state of emergency. State of emergency. Breaking news. Louisiana governor declares state of emergency for the entire state. All arms of the state emergency preparedness and response apparatus are taking Tropical Storm Cindy seriously, and we are calling on all Louisianians throughout the state to do so as well, said Governor Edwards. State and local officials are working around the clock to monitor and respond to dangerous situations as they develop. In the meantime, please do all you can to prepare for the worst while praying for the best. We will pray for you, and I hope it's not as bad as we think. Well. Let's get into it. Border Patrol agents found 8 illegal immigrants suffering from heat exhaustion in the back of a U-Haul truck. WashingtonExaminer.com reports. Border Patrol agents saved them, probably. Last week, found 8 illegal immigrants suffering from heat exhaustion inside the U-Haul van that the Texas law enforcement officer pulled over near El Paso, Texas, according to an agency statement issued Wednesday. Did we see this on the news? Nah, this was nothing. They really like talking about the Trump-Russia collusion more, don't they? 3 Brazilians and immigrants from El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Ecuador, and Mexico were locked in a cargo area of the moving truck on a day where extreme temperature exceeded 100 degrees. One person was unconscious, while the other 7 were suffering from early stages of heat exhaustion and dehydration. The other 7 people in the van didn't think it may be to knock on the van and let the guy stop, pull over, and give him a drink of water. That didn't occur to them because they're selfish and they just wanted to get into America, and they didn't care that he was dying on the van floor. The group was treated by the scene by the medical emergency services, which they really didn't deserve at that point, then released into Border Patrol custody, which they probably, under Trump and A.G. Sessions and Pence, being sent back to those 7 countries immediately. Did I miss anything? Watch President Trump take one last rip at dry your ass off in Iowa. They spent close to $30 million on this kid who forgot to live in the communities that he was running in. They spend close to $30 million on this kid who forgot to live in the community he was running for. Damn, I knew I was forgetting something. I'm supposed to live in the community, right? Dems are like, oh, right.
And by the way, if we had even a little Democrat support, just a little, like a couple of votes, you'd have everything. And you could give us a lot of votes, and we'd even be willing to change it and move it around and try and make it even better. It's going to have good heart, but even better. But again, they just want to stop. They just want to obstruct. A few votes, seriously, a few votes from the Democrats, it could be so easy and so beautiful.
Wow.
And
Wow,
they have
man.
cooperation. And their plan isn't working because they thought they were going to win last night in Atlanta. They thought they were going to win. And they've been unbelievably nasty, really nasty. And they thought they spent close to $30 million on this kid who forgot to live in the community that he was in. Let me get it. Look, I'll tell you about the Democrats. I am making it a little bit hard to get their support, but who cares? But I'll tell you about the Democrats. They raised a fortune for them. They fought like hell. They said they were going to win. All of the television networks, other than Fox, which really has treated us fairly, by the way. They have.
Yeah, Fox. Look at that clear picture. Look at that crystal clear sound.
Studios, CNN. Yeah. Whoop.
Whoop.
Hey.
Whoop.
The camera just went off. I can't imagine. It's covered live. The camera just went off. I can't imagine why. This phony NBC television network. They actually had one of the people say, you know, it was a little rainy last night. Maybe that was the difference in Karen's race. Can you believe that? But they had these beautiful studios. And if Karen Handel had lost, they would have blamed it on me, which is fun. But if she had lost, they would have been there for weeks talking about this. This would have been the greatest defeat in the history of American politics. When she won, when they said, projected winner is Karen Handel. Then they said, we switch to another program, right? So it was so short. They couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Switch.
And don't forget, this happened in Montana, right?
Right.
In Kansas.
Right.
Last night, South Carolina.
Right.
With Ralph, who was expected to win and he won.
Right.
California. So, but it's been incredible. So we're 5-0.
5-0.
5-0.
5-0.
And
5-0. 5-0. That's 5-0 for you Dems who don't know anything about that.
At least like 3, right? Wouldn't you say? At least 3. And it would be a devastating defeat. The truth is, people love us, all of us.
Yes.
They don't get it.
Yes.
They haven't figured it out yet.
They haven't figured it out yet.
You know, they're still trying to figure where all of those voters came from. Those voters came out of the hills. These are hard-working. We have the hardest-working the smartest people, the toughest people. They're very lucky that our people don't protest, believe me. Believe me.
That's right, we don't, because we know better. We know that's what they want. We know that's what they want us to do. But we're too smart for that. We're beating them this way, the right way. We're killing them. 5-0, people. 5-0. Now, despite agreement, Iran is doing something very bad. I don't even know why I put this in here. It's going to bring me down. Since the nuclear agreement in 2015, Iran has actually increased their program. Yeah, I did this story yesterday. Iran's missile program has accelerated since the signing of the nuclear agreement between Tehran and the world powers in 2015. A new report by a new report states the Council of Resistance of Iran revealed. I can tell you what this is all in two sentences. We made a deal in 2015, gave them billions of dollars, okay, and they were supposed to stop their nuclear expansion. They didn't, and they ramped it up ever since, and no one watched or kept track. That's what we need to know. Let's get off of that. Dems are becoming self-aware. Look at what they just admitted. Democrats have finally acknowledged that their anti-Trump campaign has failed. From Fox News. They acknowledged Wednesday that their anti-Trump campaign message has failed to connect with the voters this year in the wake of the 2 more party losses in the House special elections, what we just talked about. 5-0, 5-0. Voters want us to focus on jobs and the economy. Illinois Democratic Representative Trey Bustos told Fox News. Happening now, on Wednesday, I get almost no questions about Russia. I get no recommendations that I should support impeachment. All of the other sideshows are not what the people want to focus on. The moment of reflection comes after Republican Karen Handel defeated John Dry Your Arse Off in Georgia's closely watched House runoff, despite millions in and out of state donations pouring into his campaign, amid Democratic hopes that an Ossoff win would deliver a rebuke to President Trump. Instead, Republicans cited that Handel's win as a rebuke to Democratic obstruction. Democrats have entered the 2017 special elections expecting to ride the wave of opposition to Trump, hoping his low approval ratings, popular vote loss, and now persistent allegations his campaign team colluded with Russian to influence the election would translate to Democrat support at the polls. No, it failed. And I want to see it. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. Pardon me, I'm sorry. This is like music to my ears, right? This whole video is just a bunch of good stuff, mostly. Come on.
Want your reaction to both of the Republican wins in Georgia and South Carolina last night? Well, you know, it depends on what perspective you're looking at it. But, you know, you looked just about a half a year ago, Representative Price won this Georgia district by 23 points. And last night, it was only a 4-point victory for the Republicans. So I see that as momentum from a Democratic perspective. You know, I'll draw this analogy. I'm a former college athlete, and you know, if you play a really tough team and you lose by a little bit, then there's always the next game, and maybe you win the next time, or maybe you'll come a little closer and then finally win. So, you know, we're moving.
So are you saying that Democrats losing 5-0 is close? I know you're trying to bring up that one state where you almost won, but what about the 4 that you just got totally annihilated with double digits and all kinds of stuff going on? Oh, just get to the part where we want to hear already, the truth.
Moving the ball down the line, we weren't able to cross get into the end zone. But we're making progress. And I don't feel discouraged by this. Obviously, I would have liked to have won from a party perspective.
I'm not feeling
I don't feel discouraged by this.
What message do you think
this might send to the Democratic Party, as many had hoped that the Russia investigation involving President Trump's campaign might turn voters off from voting Republican. Well, I know in a tough districts, and I happen to represent a district in northwestern Illinois that Donald Trump won. Right. But I won by 20 points. And when I go home on weekends, I do something we call Supermarket Saturday. So I'm literally walking the aisles and talking to grandpas when they're picking out tangerines and grandmas when they're picking out their oatmeal. But
that's disgusting.
What I hear is that
oh my God, she's making people sick while they're shopping for their food. This way you're sitting down eating your spaghetti or your chicken and you're thinking about half damn questions about the Democratic Party? Well, about, oh my God.
That they want us to focus on jobs and the economy. I get almost no questions about Russia. I get no recommendations that I support impeachment. Nothing like that. So what have I focused on since I first ran for office? I'm now in my third term. I focus on jobs and the economy nonstop. And what I share with my fellow Democrats is that's what we have to focus on. People want us to fight for their jobs, fight for a better wage, and all this other, the sideshows.
Look at that. Look at this lie. How is this even possible? Campaign and outside groups spend about $255 per vote. And they spent $173. No, it was $30 million for Ossoff campaign and $4.3 million or $4.7 million for Handel. She beat him, and he had 7 times the amount of money.
Not what people in districts like mine want us to focus on.
Anyway, I'm sorry for interrupting her so much. I have talked a lot. But here we go. Loretta Lynch could be finished. Look what Trey Gowdy just said. Trey Gowdy said he would love to hear from Loretta Lynch on why she referred to Hillary email investigation as a matter. Gowdy stated from his 20 years of experience, he's never referred to an investigation as a matter. Not a once.
Breaking tonight, former Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson becoming the latest top intelligence official to reject the idea that there was some grand scheme between associates of President Trump and the Russians to tip the election. Watch this exchange.
At the time you separated from service in January of 2017, you have seen no evidence that the Russians were successful at changing voter tallies or voter totals. Correct. Had you seen any evidence that Donald Trump or any member of his campaign colluded, conspired, or coordinated with the Russians or anyone else to infiltrate or impact our voter infrastructure?
Not beyond what has been out there open source.
So Jay Johnson also expressed his displeasure with the DNC after he said they refused to turn their servers over after they were hacked.
I recall very clearly that I was not pleased that we were not in there helping them patch this vulnerability. DHS does not have the power to issue a search warrant or get a search warrant and go in and patch their vulnerabilities over their objections.
Weird, right? Raising the question, what was in there that they perhaps didn't want authorities to see? Why wouldn't they turn over those servers to get some help? Here now, a man behind many of those questions today, House Intelligence Committee member, Congressman Trey Gowdy. Congressman, good evening. Good to have you with us as always.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So what struck you most about your conversation with Jay Johnson today?
A couple things. He's in a unique position to answer one of those 4 tranches. Martha, again, remember, we're looking at what did Russia do, with whom, if anyone, did they do it? What was the government's response in 2016? And he was the secretary of DHS at all relevant times. So I was really interested in what the Obama administration knew and when, and what efforts they took to thwart the Russians or to notify potential victims. You just played a clip where we had a victim, the DNC. And not only did they not cooperate with Jay Johnson, they didn't turn the server over to the FBI. So I think it's a little ironic to now criticize, as some Democrats are, Jay Johnson and Jim Comey and others for not doing enough in 2016 when you had a really good piece of evidence you didn't bother to turn over.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a head scratcher when you take a look at it from that perspective and you put yourself back there during the election and you remember the emails that were leaked, very embarrassing for John Podesta, Neera Tanden, a number of people, and that was the main thing that Democrats pegged their election loss on. They said, look, because these emails were released, they call it the Russian hacking, which is apparently where it came from, but you have to remember the content of it. It was embarrassing emails that came out. So at that same time, they were asked by the FBI and by DHS, give us your servers, let's figure out who's getting into them and how. Why would they say no? Why would they not want to cooperate with that investigation?
Oh, well, let me hazard a wild guess that there may be something else on that server they didn't want law enforcement to see. I mean, that's where you start. I don't like speculating, but I have dealt in the past with victims who would not cooperate with investigations. And typically the reason is there's something else you don't want law enforcement to see. There is no reason to not allow DHS to patch or fix a vulnerability in the DNC system. And heavens knows there's no reason to not give the world's premier law enforcement agency, which is the FBI, the evidence they may need to stop another attack from hurting someone else.
Yeah, well, I mean, it could be that the words email server were somewhat toxic at that moment. If everyone remembers the political environment that was going on, and Hillary Clinton's email server was all the talk at that point. So maybe, you know, the idea that someone wanted their server made them proprietary over that server. I want to get you into something else before we run out of time. And
that's a reach.
Because we've now learned that based on Jim Comey's testimony, he opened sort of, you know, a new Pandora's box of her influence on the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server. What do you want to question her about, and what's the process with regards to her now?
What don't I want to question her about?
Well, Martha, I don't know that House Intel would be the proper venue for those questions to take place. It may be House or Senate Judiciary. I am always interested when any person we hire to work for that blindfolded woman holding a set of scales, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, does anything to put his or her finger on the scale. And if it is accurate that she asked Director Comey and others to refer to the investigation as a matter and not an investigation, that is the Attorney General putting her finger on the scale and doing so for political reasons, and that's what undercuts your viewers' confidence in the justice system.
So James Comey said that made him queasy and that he felt that she might have a conflict of interest, and that's why he took over the investigation. Would you want him to come back and testify more on that?
I would now, in fairness to Director Comey, he has been before House Intel in a closed-door setting, and he did extrapolate more on that and other reasons, frankly, that he appropriated the decision to himself. But to the extent that my Democrat friends want all of this aired in public, even some of it which maybe shouldn't be aired in public for classification reasons, I would love to hear her explanation of why she wanted to call an investigation a matter. I did it for 2 decades. We never referred to it as matters. So I don't know what her point was, although I think I do know what her objective was.
Potentially political. So we'll see where that goes. Trey Gowdy, thank you very much. Good to see you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I would hazard a guess like when he said that. Don't want your dumb articles. Thank you. I'm hoping this computer AI will pick up that I don't want them and give me something like puppies and kittens and birds. Damn, something cute. Oh my goodness, that was a nice video. Thanks for watching, folks. And I hope all you Democrats on the left are still okay and not, you know, feeling sick. Don't forget to share, subscribe, smash the like button. But there's a new thing now on YouTube. So when you click subscribe, you have to hit the little bell next to it too. So you hit subscribe, you hit the bell, then you're in. You're in. Like Flynn. In like Flynn. A little Second Amendment joke. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you like that video, you'll love the one right there where that arrow's pointing. Yep, that's for you, just for you guys, from us. Not fake news.